All right, guys. I hope I'm clearly audible and visible to all of you. Welcome back to my channel. This is the day 31 of recording daily scheduled videos for 75 days. And today we will talk about the role of the nationalist, for that matter, revolutionary, revolutionary nationalist struggle, how much our nationalist has to struggle for the freedom which we enjoy today. Therefore, this video will be quite history centric, centric. Therefore, without any further ado, let us just start this video. Before I start, I want to tell you that this information or the content which I deliver in this video might not be, redundant, or it might not be plenty, because if I sit and make a video of our national freedom fighters, our nationalists, and the revolution for our freedom, then it would be a never-ending video, because a lot of contributors are there in the, you know, paving to our paths towards the independence. Yet, this is my small effort to highlight the prominent freedom fighters and as well as their contribution. All right, so guys, please don't judge me with the you know delivery of the content. Yet, just a try, right? Just because I cannot suffice the whole national movements, freedom fighters in just 10 to 20 minutes video, right? So I hope you all will understand and take this video as a you know sort of information, and I hope you guys will be able to take few information out of this video. And I'm really glad if you are watching this video and if you take any information through this video. All right. So see, revolutionary nationalist played a crucial role in India's freedom struggle, right? By inspiring militant resistance, organizing secret societies in both national and international sphere, and using direct action against the British rule. Their sacrifices and their radical methods and ideas kept the spirit of the independence alive in the Indians, complementing the mass movements led by Gandhi and others, right? So the radicalization complement, right? COMPLEMENT, right? Complement, not PLI, but PLE, complement to the Gandhi's movement side to side. All right, so things were going parallel. So the context of this revolutionary nationalist or nationalism emerged from 20th century, right, when many young Indians grew disillusioned with the moderate Congress leaders because they had a very lame policy, right? They were, some sort of relying on petition, right? Some constitutional reforms. While on the other hand, if I talk about extremist, they were like very radical, right? If you want to achieve freedom, we gotta seize it through the whatever matter, whatever means, but we must have freedom, right? It doesn't matter irrespective of killings, right? So bombings, right? Assassination. So that was the mindset of the extremist, right? While moderates were very uh, I would say very legalized, or they were very legitimate about the strategy in order to get the independence. Like they were relying on petition and some sort of other reforms that the Britishers usually fool Indians, right? So they were relying on all those things. Yet the ideology, this ideology was inspired by the global movements like Italian unification, Irish struggle, Russian revolutionaries. They believed in armed resistance and self sacrifices in order to get the freedom, right? So, our Indian movement was also, inspired a lot by all this, you know unification, all these revolutionaries that were going, in the world. All right. So there are two phases of our you know national struggle for the independence. First is pre-World War One, before World War One, and second is post-World War One. First, before World War One, right? Our movement was focused on setting up secret societies, assassination of colonial officials, and spreading propaganda. But after the post World War One, there was more organized meeting, right? And the people formed, and they had a global connection. Our Indians were able to reach globally. If I take example of Gaddar Party and Indian National Army under the, you know leadership of the Sir Subhash Chandra Bose, right? So there was a global reach after the post World War. Okay? So what are the key contributors? What contribution did our nationalist made? First is forming secret societies. Anusilan Samiti and Jugantar in Bengal trained youth in revolutionary activities. Fuck, I don't know what's wrong with my tongue. Revolutionary activities. Then, second is Abhinav Bharat in Maharashtra, founded by Vinayak Damodar Sarkar Sabakar, spread radical nationalist ideas, which helped them, to exacerbate, right, their, the fire within them to get this British out of our country, right? And few of the heroic acts are like Khudiram Bose and Prafulla Chakki attempted to assassinate British official for the first time in the 1908, right? Second is Bhagat Singh, right? Rajguru Sukhdev executed the Sunders in the year 1928, and they staged the Central Assembly bombing in the year 1929, saying that making the deaf hear. So that's there. And the third heroic act was from the Chandra Sekhar Azad. He became the very symbol of the fearless resistance, right? So that's there. And if I talk about the international dimension, as I have mentioned even earlier, Gaddar Party, founded in United States, it mobilized the Indians abroad for the armed revolt. Second is Subhash Chandra Bose forming the Indian National Army in collaboration with the Japanese to liberate the Indians, right, from the British. That's there. Now, what was the impact of the freedom fighters? And if I have forgot the, very important fact that the Sir Udham Singh, right, who killed the, culprit, the very culprit of the 1990, the huge massacre, right, Jallianwala Bagh, right? So the Sir Udham Singh, he just shot with his revolver to this fucker, O General Dyer, and that was some sort of heroic act by our heroes, right? So that's there. And what was the impact of this? All the contribution and the all the heroic acts forming societies, right, reaching to the global mass. So first impact was it kept the flame alive for the independence. At times when constitutional and British reforms seemed very slow, revolutionaries inspired youth with their courage and valor, right? So that's the first impact. Second is it exposed the British vulnerability, assassination, bombings, right? And Chauri Chorai movement, it's Chauri Chorai, right? Chauri Chorai incident, you all know about it, right? It showed that colonial is not anymore invincible, all right? So gradually our Indians gained the ground, and they knew that the freedom was very close. If they, had the same, if they have, you know, If they are consistent and with this kind of intensity of radicalization and bombings and continuous threat, then they were very close to freedom, right? So they understood what what are the result of their action. So that's how it is related, the second impact. And third impact is it created martyrs, right? Those who sacrifice their life for their freedom, right, for the freedom of country, like such eminent and legendary personalities are Bhagat Singh, right? And they you know were able to gain a mass nationalist sentiment across the country with this kind of uh, unmindful action, being unmindful of their own death, right? It does set an inspiration for the others across the whole country, right? So that's the third impact. And fourth impact is all this revolutionary movements, it complemented to the Gandhian struggle that was going parallelly in the country, right? While Gandhi, he advocated for non-violence, right? Revolutionary nationalism added pressure to the Britishers, right? And it showed that Indians were ready for armed struggle now. Okay. Back then, the British were very afraid, right? They introduced multiple, you know, I would say, multiple plans, right, in order to suppress the movements, right? Yet the Indians were very high, you know, they did commendable job. They were not ready to accept anything, apart from independence. So that's the fourth impact. And fifth impact is legacy. All this radicalization, right, all the assassination that had been done, it influenced the later generation and broadened the spectrum of the resistance, ensuring that independence was seen as inevitable. So that's the all impact of our nationalist freedom movement. Although, guys, I'm really sorry if I'm not being able to articulate such content, because it boils my blood, but yet I am not being able to articulate as I've thought. But anyway, I hope you guys will take few key takeaways from this video, right? So in summation, all this revolutionary nationalist were firebrands of the India's freedom struggle. Their daring action, sacrifices, courage, and valor, and most importantly, their radicalization. They were very radical when it came to independence. You know, they were very stubborn, right? They were grittiest, when it came to the independence, right? And this vision kept the independence movement alive, dynamic, and multidimensional, ensuring that British faced resistance both on the street as well as in secret underground networks. Right. So that's there from my side, guys. Today's videos was all about the freedom struggle. And yes, guys, the freedom you enjoy today, right, is hardly, it's very earned, right? It is not given, it is earned. And if you are, you know in a state where you can work, right, just you can give a tribute to them by, don't do any big huge things, but when you hit the pillow, right, and when you are in nation, the Union of State of India, just make sure that whenever you hit the pillow at night, right, you must have that deep satisfaction that I have done something today, right? So even those small acts, you know can act as a tribute to all the freedom fighters, those who have worked relentlessly. They have been very unmindful when it came to the freedom of a country, right? They have given everything, sweat, blood, and their life, right? So make sure that you do well in life, right? Think about them. They have done something which was unimaginable back then, right? If this generation would have been there, right, the things would have been quite impossible, I think. Yet they managed it somehow, right? Through thick and thin, they have, you know, got us the freedom. So make sure that you utilize it well, right? That's it from my side, guys, for today's video. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have been till the end, thank you very much. Time to wrap up this video. Jai Hind and Javarat.